to the bold analysis. Let me start by asking, between food, in Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, we talk about the three: food, shelter, and clothes. I know that clothes is still part of it, or now we've narrowed down to food. I want to start by asking this question to good Kenyans. Do you really think we need to spend billions on a digital ID at the time this country is struggling with the economy? Let's be very realistic. What is the economic value of the digital ID at the time Kenyans cannot put food on table? I'm a bit shocked, and I think this one we need to have a candid conversation. I know I like politicians saying we need to have a candid conversation. There is a deal that is now going on, and before I look into the details of that deal, we've defined our economic recovery template as number one, reducing our debts so that we can service our government operations, pay expenditure, and have some development, and push our debts for specific development, so that with that economy is going to recover. Let me say this: as we speak now, just some few moments, I was speaking to a very good friend who is a journalist in KBC. KBC is a state corporation, Kenya National Broadcaster. The National Broadcaster is a state corporation, and as we speak, the workers have not been paid. So there is a payment crisis in a state corporation like that of KBC, where the workers have been told to have some austerity measures and to look for alternatives, because there is still delay in payment. And someone may not still tell you, there are government workers that still to date have not been paid. Yes, you just do your research to realize we're still grappling with some few salaries here and there. In the same, that KBC state corporation is falling under the office of Owalo, a man I really hold of high regard. So it falls under the Ministry of ICT. The same Ministry of ICT is now embroiled in some sort of a fight with the interior. So let's get to the gist of this. Why I started asking whether we need digital IDs. Some information has been coming out that William Ruto went in public and tasked Owalo. In public, he has said that in the next 1 year, all government operations should be digitalized, which is a welcome call, of course. And Ruto has tried. I think on that, Owalo has tried. Now, if you have been trying to process passport, I've been trying to get a passport, I've got, and it was a walk in the park. Despite of the issues of the machine, the printer developing hitches here and there, but looking at previously, if you've been trying to get passport, I think the process has been a bit streamlined and the hitches are a bit removed. But then what we are saying is this: the Ministry of ICT was tasked that by next year, all Kenyans should have some digital ID. Now, that is the program that was to replace the Huduma number. So Ruto asked the ICT, but then because the program was already domiciled in the Ministry of Interior, remember when Matiang'i was there and Kibicho, they were the front runners, they're the ones that were running that project. The Interior Ministry, now under Kindiki, is in conflict with ICT because the principal secretary, not the principal secretary, but the State Department in charge of the citizens is also pushing that they are the ones to spearhead that program. I think the reason of William Ruto was that it was supposed to be Owalo. And I really pity for Owalo, because I don't even think he's going to survive this, because shareholders must have their way. that sometimes is that's now the sad nature of how the country is, and we've gotten into it. The shareholders must have their way. So Currently, this is $1 billion tender, and it is supposed to be given to some foreigners. So this is what is happening. The foreigners that are supposed to get it, Owalo seems to be favoring some company from Estonia. Now, the Ministry of Interior under Kindiki, and I've been told, the report is coming that Kindiki has been kept busy with the security operations and the workshops here and there to keep him aloof of what is going on, that one of principal secretaries there, who was, I think it's called Ambassador Bitok, who was the Kenyan ambassador in Pakistan, has also favored some company from Pakistan. And there are also those who are favoring those from French. Now, the tragedy, this project is turning to be a scandal in the making, because allegedly all these ministries have emissaries, be it the Interior, be it the ICT, they all have emissaries. The company that is eyeing this tender is having emissaries. Now, I may not even want to look at who is getting that tender or not. My just question number one is this: do we really need it, good Kenyans? Do we really need it now? We have our IDs. When we opened the Somalia border, the question was on the security threat of the threat of security profile of our country. And because we opened our borders, my understanding was that we don't have a problem. It's not a big issue. Our security is not a big issue. Now, why would we spend millions, billions to get Kenyans a digital ID? How does getting a digital ID fall within the plan of economic recovery? Unless we are lying and the economic recovery is not a priority. This is a project that is being fought for simply because some few people are going to benefit. And I still believe we don't need it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. We don't need it. We don't need it. And the emissaries have been representatives of different companies that have been eyeing, the company that have been eyeing this tender has been holding cluster meetings with different sectors. Now, I understand that the reason why this is a high stake is because these companies are, the government offices are going to sell data. They don't own data here, so the data is being kept by some, some data handling offices in this country that are holding this data. They're going to sell this data to the company. And so, why are we struggling to get digital IDs while Kenyans cannot put food on table? If it is being funded by grant, then even those people that are giving us grant, we should first tell them that, look here, dude, we know that the digital ID could be a good project, but can we do it even in the next financial year? Now, this is the first financial year that we've put up punitive taxes on the people, but we are collecting taxes to run such a project. Surely? No. My good friend Ahmed Manyora said one day that the problem with this country sometimes is that when people get into power, it's never about what is done for Wanjiku, but anything that is being done is on what is in it for me. I can promise you, I can say without blinking my eye, that shareholders will get their way. And irrespective of what Owalo thinks or what Owalo wants, if the person who is a PS in the Ministry of Interior is someone from President William Ruto's tribe, then I don't think even Owalo needs to fight this battle. This is a battle he cannot win. Ambassador Bitok could be from William Ruto's, a close William Ruto's ally, and it will take. The sad thing here is this. Three things that is the challenge here. Ruto's interests are deep in it. I saw that article, I saw that leak from Pauline Njoroge. Pauline Njoroge just leaked that information just some few minutes. And I'll say, yes, it is between the two ministries. there is already a fight there. And you know what will happen? When the two ministries will fight, and of course it's not waziri, it is principal secretaries, it might happen the same thing that happened in the office of Musalia Mudavadi, that they will fight for it until the thing collapses and William Ruto decides, okay, fine, because the two of you are fighting for it, I'm taking it and giving it maybe back to State House. It might even be taken to State House. The reason why someone is fighting for it, Ruto might have made a public proclamation in public, the public declaration that I'm directing Owalo to make sure that this is done. But behind the scene, it is supposed to be done in the Ministry of the Interior. Because if it is continuation of the Huduma number, then of course it is domiciled in the Ministry of the Interior. How is it going to happen? It is a matter of wait and see. I want to say, this project is flawed because the intention is not the digital ID, but it is a ploy to swindle taxpayers' money. It is a cash cow. And people are only fighting for the tender because it is a cash cow. Now, why are we even floating such a project? At this time, is it of priority? I remember when the Ministry of, I think it was CAK, was doing something on, we're doing some project in some days to the general election. William Ruto was on top of the sunroof saying that, you know what, it is not a priority. It can be done later. I also believe this is equally good, but it can be done later, even in the next financial year. If we are struggling with our finances now, then this is one of the projects that I think we should be shelved. It should be shelved. If there is some sort of rationalization of government projects, then the digital ID, which is a scandal in the making, should be shelved and at least pushed to the next financial year. Now, the other day, Kimani Chungo was saying that cartels are running government. I can tell you, and I can support. The cartels are in charge, and William Ruto has lost control of it. I don't really think he's going to manage. The cartels are taking over, and they're the ones that are running it. Like, this project is one that you can see cartels that are clearly taking charge of the whole thing. As to whether it's going to happen, it's about it. I am still stuck, and I still want to repeat. My contention might not be on the fact that people are fighting for the tender. My contention is, in the first place, we don't need it. That money can be used to subsidize something. I think we, in the fullness of time, might need the subsidy of sugar. I saw the statement from Waziri saying that they have imposed a 5% excess duty on sugar to control its consumption because of diabetes. Surely, hata kama ni intelligence, that was a play. Is it because of that? That's not the intention. The intention here is, we've known that sugar is a product that is highly consumed, and they are putting up that tax to collect the money. That clearly, it's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I know there is a lot of noise because I'm shooting, and of course, this is an environment where it's in the village, so you're gonna bear with me, because that's what it is. Thank you very much for watching.